Hey guys, it's Taylor from Obscuration here. Uh, Finally getting around to doing the follow-up book review to, what was it, The Path of the Jedi? Sorry, The Jedi Path. I was close. The words were there, just not in the right order. And I'm now doing the companion book that I actually finished reading a little bit ago, but I've just been busy with life and 100% ran out of time each day to do this. So this is the second book, I'm going to say kind of in the saga, that I don't really know a better way to kind of word it, for this series of books that the author Daniel Wallace has put together, because he's got this one, Book of the Sith, The Jedi Path, I want to say Bounty Hunter Code, Imperial Code, and Smuggler book or handbook, something like that. And I do plan on eventually getting all of those. My nerdness demands it. But I have to say that I absolutely love the writing style that he uses for these books, especially this one. I don't know what the other ones will be like. I'm curious to get them and see if they're going to be kind of written in the same format as what the Jedi Path was and this. Like, even Book of the Sith is different in a kind of cool way from the Jedi Path. It's got multiple authors to it, quote unquote. Again, where this one has, and again, I'm sorry if I'm not saying these names right. Someday, maybe we'll actually see them in live action or animation, and we'll have true set ways of this is how we say the names. So the stories are being told in chunks. It's parts of Sith books that have been made over time and lost to history, and kind of piecemealed back together by Darth Sidious during the time of the Empire. So the first entry is done by Sorzu Sin. He's one of the ones that's in the old expanded universe. He was known for his Sith alchemy, which is one of the cool things that I kind of like. Like, it was kind of talking about how he would make Sith amulets, how he came about coming across this. So in his portion of the book, it's when the Jedi and the Sith basically become two different factions, I'd say, like really hardcore different. And they end up coming across the Sith, the original pureblood, where the name comes from. And they learn a bunch of stuff, and that's basically like where the Sith Empire, I'll say, kind of gets its start and grows from there. They rule over the pureblood Sith, who have red skin tones and basically like face tentacles, but not being super tentacly. Like, not like squid like tentacles. It's more bone spurs is what they refer to. So the next part is actually written by Darth Malgus, and it's during the war times, just before. Well, I won't say just before. It's set. I think that's 3,000-ish years before the Battle of Yavin. So before the movies, all that kind of stuff. The way that he writes is very cold, calculating, and this is how it is. This is how it should have been. These are like the combat styles. He's one of the main ones who talks about the different combat styles that you have as a Sith, what there should be, what there shouldn't be. And he points out, like, the Sith combat tends to be more aggressive in the ways that they do things, and they're things that they're not allowed to be taught at the Jedi temples. The next one is one of my favorite Darths there is, and it's Darth Bane. Obviously, that's where the rule of two comes from. We all kind of know that, or like a lot of people know of it to a certain degree. So it kind of goes over how he came up with it, how he came up with my favorite thing. One of my favorite things, I'll say, throughout all of Sith history is the thought bomb, and how he used it to trick the Sith brotherhood of his time to essentially just thought bomb all of themselves into oblivion, so that he became the only one, and thus the rule of two was born. So I love that part. That's also, as a little side note, one of my other favorite characters from that era is Darth Zana, his apprentice, and she is big into Sith sorcery, and that's where like the first time that you actually hear about the dark side tendrils. Freaking wicked power. So wish I had that. I digress. The next section of the book is actually from Mother Talzin, the mother of the Night Sisters, which I thought was kind of cool because I so desperately want there to be more about them. I don't even have words. And she basically focused on like what their sort of religion is and how their religion is the base of everything in the universe, and the rest of them, like the Jedi and the Sith, don't know it. Then after her, you got Darth Plagueis, and obviously we all know of him thanks to the movies. And his is written in a very different way. Like you go from hearing about all this religious aspect, which is Mother Talzin, to Darth Plagueis, who is scientific through and through, literally talking like, I'm not going to lie, there are certain parts that I'm like, I'm not even sure what the hell this means that he's saying. But okay, that's cool. But he was so dedicated to trying to prove the Force through science. It was kind of cool to see. And then you get into Darth Sidious, as he's writing, when he first writes it, he's writing about how it is that he's going to get his empire, how he took down certain things. And then there's obviously, like in the last book, there's actually commenters. Sidious comments on all parts of it, including his own work, where he's like, this is where I messed up on this. I changed my mind about this. All that kind of stuff. So that part was kind of cool. Cool. Yeah. Luke also comments on it, of course, because he's now got his hands on it in his new Jedi Temple. Yoda comments on it. Mace does. Vader does. The one that was kind of interesting to me that I was surprised that actually comments on it is Quinlan Voss, because I didn't foresee his name popping up at any point in time. And then the other one, who is a delightful character, who comments more so on the Mother Talzin area, so she must have gotten her hands on that portion of book, per se, and it was Asajj Ventress. So she puts in, like, I like her little comments of, oh yeah, well, she never told us about that. Oh yeah, she never saw that coming. So I love how the books are laid out and that you hear very clear, definitive voices when you're reading each section. It's very different. It gets the different feel to it, and it brings in things that you might not notice when you're reading throughout the entire expanded universe, because there's so much to take in. So like I said, this one has Sith sorcery, strongest rulers, the great leaders, Sith alchemy. It even has the different beasts that are known to the dark side, or known to be more dark side. Yeah, I think that was pretty much just about it. Just because I don't want to give like every single detail away. I highly recommend it. It was a really good read, and there's even parts between the two books that actually go pretty well with, though I hate to say it, The Acolyte. I wasn't a fan of the show. However, the show did canonize a bunch of things that are found in both of these novels. So I do appreciate it for that fact. Definitely go out and read it, guys. Super good. And I'll be back next week with, I think I'm going to do something that's not Star Wars, which will throw you guys all off. So, see you next week.